does not fuck smash my door.
Come on, Charles, don't do this.
Pissed off? Is that a bad word?
Christian Aguilera, hi. The X at the end.
You fucking look like rock stars, huh? And now we are a fucking bunch of wanko.
Michael, this is Toto. Can I just send you an email? No, Michael, that was so not right. Sorry, we went car racing.
Oh, should we start then?
Yeah, normally Boyd would be doing this bit, right?
Don't give it away. Do it in the thing.
Oh, okay. Well,
welcome to the 3 Pre podcast with only 2 of the 3 Pre's with Ben and Brad because Boyd has not shown up. He's blown it out. And we're going to start today's podcast by giving you a countdown of the 4 reasons why Boyd cannot attend. Well, 2 of them link into one, but let's go with the top 5 reasons why Boyd couldn't do the podcast today.
In at number 1.
No, countdown.
Oh, in at number 5. Sorry, we need the top of the pops music for this bit. In at number 5, we've got I've got a headache, and in at number 4, and don't feel great.
They're the same, but we'll go with because 5's a better number. In at number 3, Ben.
In at number 3. I'm having a new front door fitted and the guy has only just got here, was meant to be here this morning, and he's not going to be done till like 5-ish.
Okay, 2.
I've also got to pick my niece up from college.
What's that mean?
Maybe she does crafts in the evenings.
Okay, we assume that means college. And then number 1, have we got number 1?
Need to go food shopping.
Need to go food shopping, and they're the reasons why we can't do a podcast. So today it will just be me and Ben, so it may not be as funny. We don't have our in-house village idiot to talk to, so it's just me and Ben. So the conversation may be, well, we'll try and keep it fun.
Yeah, a bit dry, I think it might be.
I actually think it's quite topical because the Formula 1 was absolutely boring.
Yeah. I've got a feeling that if we watch the highlights, it's going to be really exciting because there were some really exciting moments. Unfortunately, there was 15 minutes between each of those exciting moments.
I can kind of work out how fun a Formula 1 is by how much we text each other during it. Like, if the text volume is high, then the excitement levels are quite low. And as I was watching it, like, the most exciting thing that happened was that it rained. And I thought it was going to be, like, crashes galore. But all it did was got delayed. And then it felt like just a load of people queuing up to go shopping. Like
it was literally watching tracks dry. That's what it was. For at least the first hour, we just watched it dry, and it was really dry. The whole thing was rubbish.
You'd be pissed off if you'd gone there though. Imagine going there, travelling all the way, all excited that you were going to get outside in the sun, and then you just get rained on
for a long time. And yeah, but they look like people look like they were in good spirits. They weren't stuck at home, I guess, like trying to explain Formula 1 to a 3-year-old like I was. But before I know we
need to get Donny on the podcast to ask him like what he knows about, like, as a test, see how much he knows about Formula 1.
He knows Max Verstappen.
Is that the hero?
He just says Max Verstappen. Like, is that Max Verstappen? No, that's Checo. Is that Max Verstappen? No, that's Lewis Hamilton. Is that Max Verstappen? Yes, that's Max Verstappen. I love Max Verstappen. But he was quite cute actually because he was playing with his cars, watching the Formula 1, and go. He's got to go to the pit stop now. He's got to go. I was like, he's had 4 pit stops. He'd be bottom. He'd be like, he's not winning. He's had 4 pit stops.
But on that subject, I do feel like the Formula 1 at the weekend was a bit like when people have kids, though, where the kids don't do anything interesting. Not saying Donnie doesn't do anything interesting, but when you have a baby and 2 parents are just at home with their newborn baby and it's just doing nothing interesting, and they go, "Oh, look, it just smiled." No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Did nothing. That's what I felt like watching the Formula 1. So, there's something. No, it's just people queuing up in the rain. Yeah. And I'll confess, I didn't even finish watching it. I got to the last 20 minutes, went to pick my daughter up. I literally don't even know what happened in the last 20 minutes. Nothing. To the point where I started to question, do I even like Formula 1? It was that boring, which I recognise is a weird confession to make on a Formula 1 podcast, but I'm
people come in for the honesty.
I'm 50-50 or whether I'll ever watch it again.
But continue the podcast.
I'll continue doing the podcast 100%. I just might not know anything that happened on Formula 1.
I think that's good because I can describe it to you like lap by lap.
That's brilliant. As long as I keep we're looking at George Russell's Instagram, that's all I need.
That is Formula 1 in a nutshell. I've not actually looked at George Russell's Instagram, hoping that we would have some chat about his Instagram and I could learn something new. But
did you see George Russell call Daniel Ricciardo a big orange distraction?
Did he?
Yeah, that was funny. He was being interviewed, and Daniel Ricciardo come behind him, and then mid question he forgot what he was saying because he saw him, and he went, "Oh, I'm sorry about that big orange distraction."
He is a big orange distraction. But he did very well, didn't he? Didn't he do well? Didn't he do well yesterday?
I don't know because I lost interest. What did he do?
Well, we'll get to that later in the podcast. I want to describe every lap to you as it happened.
No, I don't want that again. That was boring. Just get the good bits.
I'll skip past the bits. But first we're going to start with the news.
Okay, go.
And it's Ricciardo based. He didn't get any engine upgrades for Singapore, although Norris did, and I feel that's favouritism. But you wouldn't give an ex-employee, as someone that was out the door, a new laptop, would you?
No, it's hard enough to get the first ones you give them back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, come and pick it up when you got it. I think I've picked up a laptop for you before, haven't I?
Probably. I'll tell you what was funny. So, can I say this? Yeah, I won't say who it was. So, I had someone working for me, and they didn't last very long. In fact, I think it was about a week. And they had a laptop, and it was sent to the house. And basically, I worked out that I had to go and send a courier to go pick this laptop up. So, I mentioned it to my dad. And my dad was just like, I'm actually passing. I'll just pretend to be the courier driver. So he went to the house to pick the laptop up. And he phoned the person to say, I'm the courier driver and I'm downstairs. And I'm not going to say whether it's a he or a she. And they said, I'm just on the toilet doing a poo. It's just like,
Just do a poo.
Okay, just say busy. Busy's fine. And then, yeah.
That's good. I like that. I like that they said he's doing a poo. They said that they were doing a poo. That's very nice. And then second bit of news of the two bits of news I have that aren't related to the actual race itself. Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly, the two French drivers currently in F1, are rumoured to become teammates at Alpine next year. But they apparently are mortal enemies, which I didn't know.
Aren't they both French?
They're both French, but they're still mortal enemies.
They should be connected by
hatred for the English racers, right?
Yeah, they should be.
They probably do. They probably still hate. They're mortal enemies, but they hate the English drivers more.
I'd say that's probably just nonsense.
Yeah, apparently, either
or they just want to be
Ocon's girlfriend.
The best. What you reckon?
Yeah, that's the rumor.
Stole girlfriend.
Stole his girlfriend.
No.
And Ocon, Ocon's like, of all the Formula 1 drivers, he's the one that struggled the most to get the girlfriend.
Yeah, he was on when they would fill in the hour, when they were trying to work out what content they would fill the delay. Did you see the steering wheel?
Where they went. That was. Here's Esteban to show us what he looks at while he's driving.
Yeah, and did you realize he didn't know half of the controls on his steering wheel? What they did, they went, "What's that?" And he was like, "It's just a number that goes up." And they were like, "I think it might be your lap count." And he went, "Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is that." And you could see he was like, "Fucking hell, that's really cool."
I didn't know
lap
that.
Count on my thing. Yeah,
I think he knew one thing, which that he goes, I know that I've got to keep that number in a negative. Like that was the one thing he had to keep. That was he goes, that has to be a minus number. And then
imagine a NASA space engineer said that. I just know that needs to be in a negative, and that we will probably land the plane or the rocket or whatever.
I'm onto the race now. I think.
Okay. We're skipping past practice.
FP1 to FP3. We're skipping because nothing happened.
I noticed there's no notes in your show notes about that, so nothing happened in there.
But I watched qualifying from the start, so I watched what I then watched again before the race started because they basically replayed everything again. I watched the 2%ers go on a wacky rickshaw ride around the track, which I thought was just a piss take because it's like 6 kilometres or something.
What's a wacky rickshaw race? What does that involve?
Right, they're just they put the 2%ers of the
like a tuk-tuk.
Yeah,
right.
They put them in that, and then they just send them around the track. Natalie Pinkerton and one of the blokes, because there's about 20 blokes on that Sky Sports F1, and they
wanted
sort of
gender equality in the rickshaw. So it was,
and she knows more than he does, because I've seen it twice now.
There is a lot of presenters. I've noticed that. It's like you could probably save some cost here. I think you've got about 10. You probably need about 3.
Yeah, plus you've got, what's his name? Rosberg comes in, like, in his little lair. But then I saw a thing the other day, Rosberg, who they always look like he's on a webcam. He's in the place where their Formula One is on. Like Imola, he was at Imola, but then he was still in his lair.
asked to get out of his office.
Yeah, they just sent him to his
Mate,
office.
I went to a meeting once, right, in Wisconsin, and I should get this right. I flew in, got in about midnight, rented a car, drove to a hotel that was near the office, stayed the night, got about 3 hours sleep, drove to their office, and then the person was like, "I can't get a meeting room, so I'm going to dial in." So they put me in a one-person meeting room, and I had a Zoom call with someone, and I flew halfway around the world to do it. But the guy was completely not even recognising how fucking insane that was to do that. He was just like, "Yeah, I can't get a meeting room, so I'll probably just dial in."
They Rosberged you.
They Rosberged me.
You've been Rosberged. You've been Rosberged.
With your Rolex hanging down by your knuckles.
Yeah, confident. He's got really small wrists.
He probably loses about 2 of those a week. Shit, I've lost my watch again. It's fallen off.
They're just all around the floor in his little office.
Can't move for Daytonas. They're everywhere. That's why they're so expensive now, because there's limited run, and Rosberg's lost them all.
I've not. Well, obviously because of last week's episode with the memorial. I'm
not going to mention
now
him.
in my notes. I'm not going to say his name. But the first person out of Q1 was the Canadian guy for Williams. So that's it. And then the next thing is that Ricardo was out in Q1, and he's not doing much for his CV. But then later in the race, the next day, he proper smashed it. So ignore that. George Russell didn't make it out of Q2, which is not mega.
Phone not on silent.
Oh,
that's Boyd's job.
Oh no! Actually, my phone is on silent. It shouldn't have beeped. Internet. Right. So yeah, but then it turns out that he was going to start from the pit lane anyway. So that's why he didn't bother. I think they wanted to save tyres. Hamilton smashed qualifying, and it must have been the nose ring I've put here, because all they talked about pre-qualifying was that Lewis Hamilton had left his nose ring in, and he was going to see the stewards.
I thought that was a closed case now. He got away with it.
Well, they were talking about it non-stop during qualifying. Almost like, remember that time when in qualifying where they just talked about the not having matte tape for the it was like that. That's how much.
Was this part of the filler?
Yeah.
No, this wasn't, because this was qualifying.
This was part of qualifying. So they just kept going on about his nose ring. Verstappen hit the wall in his fast lap. So he was on a stormer, like he was going to be pole position, and he hit the wall, so that cancelled his lap. So he started another one, and then obviously the drama happened where he had to abandon the lap because he needed enough fuel in the car to do the sample. Otherwise, he would have had to start from the grid, from the pit lane, not the grid. So that was.
Well, I know I was joking about this when we were watching it, but why did he even bother? Like, he's going to win it. He's got 8 races. There's literally no way he won't win it. So whizzing round on a track in a dangerous car in the rain, putting your life at risk, why would you bother if you were in 8th? And then he slipped back to 12th or whatever.
Yeah, he ended up 15th at one point.
I would have just boxed myself.
Oh no, box. Max is out.
Yeah,
and I'd refer to myself as Max as well. Max is not going to finish this race because Max is the champion basically. But he got the points. That means that all he has to do is
2021 win. World champion Max box. Here I come. Here he comes.
Here he comes. But I guess he wanted to. Now he's got those points. That means whatever. Like, he just has to win at Japan in the next race.
Yeah, but even if he doesn't win at Japan, he can win at the next race. He's got 8 races left to win.
Yeah. If he can not win, but if Leclerc and Checo finish something like 6 points, only get 8 points, he wins. So, like, as long as he's 8 points more than whatever Checo and Leclerc gets, he will win, which is nice. We're onto the race now. I've put the race. It was pretty much watching paint dry.
I was just watching concrete dry, but yeah.
Before we get into the race, we should talk about Crashgate. I guess this is something that Boyd would have known more about. But in 2008, Alonso got his teammate Nelson Piquet Jr. to crash into the wall to bring out a safety car to win, so he could win the race and then win the title. And that is proven.
Well, Schumacher did that in Monaco.
Yeah, they all did.
He staged a crash to prevent. So he had already got pole position in qualifying, and then basically he staged a crash, and it's the worst staged crash ever because basically he wanted to make it look like he had crashed without actually doing any damage. So imagine trying to drive into a wall as slow as you possibly could and do the least amount of damage. And basically he was cheating, and then obviously no one speaks about it because it's Schumacher, but it was a bit of a schneidi move.
Yeah, I think they probably all do. I think there's obviously if Williams weren't a Mercedes team, there probably would have been rumours that Latifi had done the crash, so Max could win. But because Latifi and Williams are Mercedes drivers and Mercedes team, then obviously that's ruled out unless Williams are playing the long game and they're going to get Red Bull engines.
Was it 2008 when Alonso looked like the picture that you've changed the WhatsApp group's picture to?
Yes,
which
and
is incredible.
And that will lead on to our feature, because we haven't got a debate and we haven't got a game because Boy's not here. My presentation of pictures I like of Fernando Alonso.
How many pictures have you got in this presentation?
7 or 8.
Brilliant.
So that
Looking forward to it.
Again, all filler, no killer. It was pissing it down. I've written here. FIA worried about people getting struck by lightning. This meant a lot of filler on Sky Sports, including a poignant piece for Black History Month with Lewis Hamilton, which I thought was very nice. But what I loved more was the fact that they still make him wear that horrible Mercedes top with his designer trousers and shoes.
Yeah, but his Mercedes top is Tommy Hilfiger.
It is, but it is also horrible.
Which is part owned by Lawrence Stroll.
Wow,
I believe.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I think it is.
He literally has his finger in Lewis Hamilton's pie.
He knows. I reckon Lewis Hamilton will end up at Aston Martin before he retires.
That is like the retirement gig, though.
Yeah, Vettel, Alonso won't retire though.
Alonso has retired, but
Yeah,
he's just going to continue.
He's
He's going to continue to drive.
Yeah, he's retired, but he still drives. But yeah, I think that Lewis continues to wear those horrible trousers with the horrible top that don't match. I don't know why he does it. I would just go, look, I'm just going to get a nice pair of trousers that match this top that are designer. I don't understand why he has to wear they were cream flares with shiny Doc Martin boots, and then a Tommy Hilfiger football shirt, basically, is what it is.
I think I might have said this before in the podcast, but his fashion reminds me of Michael Jackson's furniture purchases. Because did you see that
said it before? It's very good.
What's that?
You have not said that before. It's very good.
So, do you remember in the Michael Jackson documentary, the Martin Bashir one? I think it was the Martin Bashir one.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
where Michael Jackson,
one of those.
And he went into that shop in it's in the Venetian. It was in the Venetian in Las Vegas, and basically he went in and it was like, I really like that, and he's like, how much is it? It goes, it's like, the guy was like, it's fucking $300,000 for that vase, and then Michael Jackson goes, 5 of them. The year Michael Jackson died, that shop shut down.
Yeah,
because I used to walk past it and go, that's that shop from the documentary. And then I was in Vegas. I went, they've shut down because Michael Jackson's not there to fund their entire business for a year. And I reckon Hamilton's the same. He's got a fashion designer who goes, yeah, these trousers are brilliant. And they're £25,000. He goes, they must be brilliant.
Yeah, and you're telling me they won't go with the shirt I have to wear every time on camera?
Mate, that doesn't faze him. He literally just spins around in a circle and chooses what he wants out of his wardrobe. It's insane.
I've seen I think he dresses like a moron. But then at the same time, he did say on that poignant, again, I'll say the documentary, that it took that much time for him to get into Formula One, fit the mould, and then be able to break out of that mould and be who he wants to be, and wear flares and tank top jumpers that like Doug Funny used to wear, and then anyway, after that,
he's like the divorcee that's like, and I'm gonna wear that now because you're not around to tell me what I can't wear.
Yeah,
so he's like, I'll wear the flares, I don't even care.
I know they don't look good, but I want to wear them.
And I'm dyeing my hair blue, so
yeah. This is how even the commentators were getting boring, but one of the commentators said it's great for ducks out there, and that made me laugh because it was just so, like, they're professional commentators and they just say the most ridiculous shit. It's great for ducks. Like, fuck off.
When the Monaco Grand Prix got delayed, they were talking about how they were going to get home, so they kind of forgot because it went on for so long. It was like a 3-hour delay or something.
Yeah.
and they literally started talking about the logistics of whether they were going to car share on the way home. And I thought to myself, have you forgotten that this is on TV? And you're literally just going, yeah, I could probably get a bus. I might need a hotel. Do you have a hotel? I do. How many beds do you have? And they were like working it out. It was mental.
Yeah. And then I've got all filler, no thriller. But I started watching at 12:30, and the most exciting thing I saw was Carlos Sainz unzip that he was walking around in a pair of boots, but then unzip those boots, and they just be a sheath for his racing boots. And I was blown away by it.
What do you mean?
Like he had a layer, like an outer layer on his racing boots. So he unzipped and pulled them off, and I'd never seen it before, and it blew my mind.
Well, like his boot had a coat.
His boot had a coat.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
all boots need coats.
Yeah. I wish that I could get boots, like coats for my boots for my nice trainers. Canadian Williams driver and George Russell start on the last row, and I think the Canadian Williams driver probably wasn't paying attention to qualifying, just thinks that he beat George Russell, and I think he's really proud of that moment.
The Canadian driver.
There
are two Canadian drivers.
Yeah, but Lance Stroll's like we don't talk about Lance Stroll.
No,
we never have anything. So nothing really happens for him. The grid, like this is another thing that was winding me up. I was watching we still haven't started the race yet. How stressful is that grid with all the people on it to watch? Does it not?
Before they start?
Before they start, when they're all just like lining up on the grid and they all like got their tyres out and there's just people roaming around.
I don't know why they do it. What other sport would they do that? Imagine in football,
they all stand in their positions.
You stand in your position, and everyone's talking to the defender, going, "Do you think it's going to be a really good game?" And they go, "Yeah, I don't know, I think so." And then they just go, "Now everyone leave the pitch." Yeah, I mean, they should do that. It'd be great.
But then Will.i.am did wait patiently to talk to Brundle. Like he was like he knew he had to talk to Brundle.
Yes, I noticed that, and I was like, he's annoyed that no one's talking to him.
Yeah,
he had FOMO. He had like famous person.
Yeah,
why is no one talking to me?
Yeah.
And then I might have said this on the, I can't remember what I've said, but I told you about my mate who met Will.i.am, and Will.i.am didn't get up to shake his hand.
Really?
So a friend of mine, he kind of operates in famous people's circles. He works in sponsorship.
Yeah.
And he met Will.i.am, and someone was like, Will.i.am wanting to meet my mate. I won't say his name. And so my mate went, "Oh yeah, really good to meet you." And Will.i.am was laying down like this, right, in like a club. And then instead of getting up and shaking his hand, he just went like that and put his left hand out and shook his right hand with his left hand, and just kind of just went like that and just touched it. and then just went on like he was too famous to get up, and my friend said it was probably all his money weighing him down that he couldn't get up. But he did seem a bit like, oh, no one's noticed how famous I am.
Brundle will know me.
Yeah.
I'll walk over to Brundle. But also Will.i.am looked like he was wearing one of those hats that butchers wear in Asda. It was like this weird like mesh material like on top, perched on top of his head. Just thought it looked a bit like a mug. Canadian Williams driver. We're into the race now.
Just go around hating on. We'll run out of Formula 1 drivers to hate on, so now we're on pop stars.
Alonso's going to get it later, don't worry. So Canadian Williams driver pushed Zhou Guanyu into the wall, like physically just pushed him in, and then broke his own car as well in the process. And then
got a puncher, didn't he?
He went. Oh, I just didn't see him. Like you didn't see him. Like you went just into him. Like yeah,
he probably just zoned out.
Yeah, he's probably just thinking about like getting back to the pits. How can he get back to the pits really quickly? I'll just crash into this guy.
I did think when I was watching it, I don't know whether this was me not paying attention or whether the logistics on the cameras wasn't very good. It felt like things kept happening, but they didn't happen when the cameras were on them. So it kept going, there's a thing happened and we just missed it. And then you have to go back and see what it was.
Yeah.
And
yellow flags.
Perez wasn't even on TV at any point, but he was winning the race the whole time. Yeah. So it was like he won the race. Did he win? He won, yeah.
The race, yeah.
But I didn't see him on TV because it was just purely focused on Verstappen. It was like, can he get out of 7th? No.
Yeah, well, that was the most interesting thing that was happening. There was a few good battles, I think, throughout. Before we move on from the Zhou Guanyu Latifi thing, Latifi got a 5-place grid penalty for Japan. Does that matter? Can you start -5 from the last. Like, they might as well just said, yeah, just carry on as you are, mate. Like, you're going to start last anyway. So, I think they should fine him. But yeah.
Fine him. Pure cash.
Just take the cash. That's what you got to do. You hit it where it hurts, man, in the pockets. George Russell went off and back on, and then back off, and then back on again, and then changed tyres about 5 times.
In fairness, he was sliding around.
Yeah.
That was immediately a bad idea, wasn't it? As soon as he come out, he just did like a Tokyo drift around the corner.
He just came out of the pit. He just went sideways out the pit.
I love how everyone was using him as the canary in the coal mine. They were just like, right, you put your tyres on and we'll see how that works out for you. It didn't work out. Maybe stay in the current tyres.
And then you can see when it got to, he hit the fastest lap and then everyone went in straight away. Lewis Hamilton snitched on the safety car driver. You pointed that out. Mm-hmm. But he did also drive really fucking well, I think, until he crashed.
He did, didn't he?
He did crash, but then, like, in true champion spirit, he didn't give up. He reversed out and he got going. Like,
not as cool as Verstappen when he went off, though. He did a Fast and Furious, I'm just going to spin round and rejoin. I was like, that's a baller move. And he didn't even lose a place when he went off.
No, I don't
think he lost a place.
No, but he did he flattened his tyre, so he actually went last because he had to go.
He still spun around like he was in a film.
And
that's what I care
that
about.
moves on to the next point. Of the last 3 points we have in the race is Verstappen had a bad start and then he just turned it on. Like, he did turn it on, and he got up to 5th, nearly 4th, and then something happened and he went back down to 8th, I think, and then he changed his tyres. Then he did the thing where he did the spin and the back on, and he went down to 15th to change his tyres then, and he got back to 7th. Like, that means he must have gained like 20 spots, I think 20 places, like, over the whole thing. Like, how many times he overtook. I
would have just think, if I was him, I just would have felt like that race was a bit of a faff. Because it's not just the race, he's got to travel there, he's got to go through it, and then what happened? He basically ended the same place he started.
Yeah, no, he ended 6th, I think. I said 7th here, but I think he ended up 6th. I think
that's why people
Hamilton.
tune into this podcast, is for the most accurate Formula 1 information. I don't even know who won the race.
You didn't even finish watching it, so that's fine. So this is the end of the race.
Tune in this time next week to find out whether I still like Formula 1.
Yeah.
Is there a race
did Brad watch Japan next week?
Yeah, I will actually. I will be here. We'll be watching it next week.
Yeah. So the safety car violation. So apparently, Checo was first the whole race. He led the whole race. He absolutely smashed it. He drove like a proper race driver. He didn't fuck up. Just kept going. Didn't panic. He didn't like mess up. But he did violate the safety car rules by dropping back too far from it. I think he dropped back. Oh god, I've got a fly in it. He dropped back like 15 car lengths when he was meant to be 10 car lengths, and he got a 5-second grid penalty. But he was so good.
Seems quite a lot for that.
I know. I think I was getting angry about it because Boyd kept going in the text, going 10 seconds. That's easily 10 seconds. I was like, why is it 10 seconds? He did nothing wrong. Like,
so what was the problem?
He dropped too far back from the safety car, so he'd slowed down too much. But
surely that's safer.
Well, I think it's to stop people slowing down and slowing down the pack behind them. You have to keep at that pace. But because the safety car was going in, I think he'd given it space so he could pull away and get a nice thing. But he did pull away, and he got 7 seconds ahead of Leclerc because he knew he was going to get a 5-second penalty. So he did that, and he smashed it, and he absolutely smashed it. And he's also the first driver to do the Monaco-Singapore double, which is win both those races in 1 year, in over a decade. And the last person to do it was Sebastian Vettel.
That's the worst stat I've ever heard.
That's just a stat that I've got for you. And then I think
here's two unrelated things.
Yeah.
First person to do those two things, apart from the both races.
In over a decade.
Over a decade.
Over a decade.
Decades always sound longer when you say decade and not 10 years. It's only 10 seasons.
Yeah. And they haven't been to Singapore for 2 years. So in 8 races, basically.
In 8 races, yeah.
So and then Ricciardo, he started in 17th and he finished in 5th. That is absolutely amazing. Well done, Daniel. If you're listening, Daniel, which you probably are, congratulations,
he
mate.
definitely tunes in.
You deserve that, you orange. What was it? Your orange distraction.
Big orange distraction.
Your big orange distraction. And that's it. And that's the race.
Brilliant.
So yeah, what's next? No game.
There's no game. So the final feature of today's podcast is the special presentation by Ben.
Yeah, let me get that prepared. Well, I've got the folder prepared, but
You can share your screen, and then people on YouTube
we'll be able to
will
see
be able
this.
to
So this
see
is a good time to say, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can watch this here, and you can see the Fernando Alonso, Ben's favourite pictures of Fernando Alonso. Right, we're going to start with number 1.
Hold on, I'm not even looking at the screen. How many of these have I seen? Have I got a fake that I've not seen them?
No, I think we can discuss these pictures, and we're going to start with this one. This one, can you see that?
I mean, that's an excellent picture.
It's an excellent picture. He looks
What's
so
your criticism
determined.
of that?
What watch is it, do you reckon? It's 2 pixelated.
Let me zoom in.
I think it might be a Breitling. It's not. It's a Tudor, isn't it? Anyway, that's a great picture. I think whoever took it, they really captured his strong chin. He's, I think, the thoughts.
Oh, I know what's happening in this photo. He's fed up with this photo shoot by now.
Do you reckon that's
I think he's gritting his back teeth. It looks like he's got really strong jawline, which he has, but it looks like he's going, oh, for fuck's sake, I want to get out of here.
I want to leave. Right, next picture.
That was, I'll give that one comedy rating out of 5. This is amazing.
This is amazing. So look how young Hamilton looks. But they've both got their watches out again. They're both like...
Yeah, well, it's sponsorship, isn't it?
Sponsorship. But I think Alonso doesn't look like... They've got the same haircut, firstly. But it looks like Alonso's gone, I like your hair. And then the next day he's shown up with Lewis Hamilton's haircut and sideburns.
He doesn't look like him.
No, but that's young, isn't it? That's McLaren days when he was like, you know... I don't think he'd won it. I think he'd won a title this time, and he'd gone back. He hadn't retired yet, but I think he was close to retiring for the first time on this one.
Is it possible? So Ed Sheeran's done the. I don't know a lot about football, but Ed Sheeran designed the new Ipswich kit. Is that right?
I have no idea.
Right. So Google this. Right. Ed Sheeran Ipswich kit.
Okay.
Right. So what they've done is they've taken football kit, which is always looks nerdy. It's like fancy dress, dressing up as your hero, and then let someone who's probably quite cool design it, and actually it looks really cool.
It's just an Adidas top in it with the tour. Right?
Yeah, but it's right up your street. It's a bit gothy. It's black.
Is it? Oh, all right. No. Oh, okay. I see it now.
You see it?
Yeah. He sponsored this one. Has he designed one as well?
Yeah, he sponsored it. He sponsored the team, I think.
Again, his tour is sponsored. I know he makes so much money he can sponsor a football team.
So
designed with Ed Sheeran, he had nothing to do with it.
I know, but what I'm saying is, it's a better looking football kit than I imagine the Ipswich football kit to look.
Yeah.
Why do all Formula One race drivers look like nerds? Why can't somebody design something which? Yeah, but they could make it look so much cooler. Surely someone could design that outfit and it not look like that.
Yeah, but they got imagine like having to get that many logos on. You just got to give up and you go, oh, I'll just put all the logos on it.
Yeah, but I'd probably ask him in grayscale or something.
Yeah, right. This is just him. Look how bitter and like.
Mate, he's not happy in that picture.
Lewis has won that race, and he's come second, and he is not happy. That's the next day.
He's gloating in his ear, isn't he?
He's like, I beat you, mate. I beat you, you Spanish prick. That's what he said to him. But they don't get they pretend like they're mates, but they really don't get on, do they? Like they proper hate each other.
Well, he said in the other, not this race, the race before, Alonso called Lewis Hamilton an idiot or something, didn't he?
Yeah. So I thought that was funny because it just his face in it just looks. He looks like a bit like Lord Farquhar from Shrek as well.
He does look like Lord Farquhar. He does.
Yeah.
What's his famous phrase? It's been a while since I've seen Shrek.
I haven't seen Shrek in a while. I've seen Shrek 2 more because the kids like
this
that.
This is good content. Move on.
Check that one out. That is,
yeah, that's like Prince album cover.
Yeah, that's.
And he's got two watches on.
2 watches, and they doesn't think he's wearing them. They both look photoshopped on.
No, he's wearing them both. He just sometimes he likes looking to the left and sometimes not looking to the right.
That's like
they're not even. I thought I zoomed in to see whether he had one on like Madrid time and then one wherever he was.
No, they're both on the same time, mate. Both on the same time. That's what I thought. Yeah. Maybe red's for home, blue's for the race day, so you can he's always got the time. But no, bit of a sporty number on, like the little windbreaker he's got.
Tracksuit.
Yeah. So yeah, with the luminous, all the colours don't match. I really like it. But yeah, I really like that picture because he looks serious, determined.
He looks like the background is like a swimming pool.
This is the best one,
mate. What is happening? What is happening? Hold on, I can't. There's too many things going on. I need to process.
Well, I think this is when he was in Westlife.
I don't really know what's happening.
He looks like he's in a boy band.
It's a leather waistcoat.
Yeah,
that we can be sure.
Yeah, leather zip-up waistcoat.
Underneath is traditional safari clobber.
Yeah, so he looks like he's gone. I want Steve Irwin meets Ronan Keating. Is the look here? More
gold
of a,
zips.
More of a like a more of a dress watch there. I think as well. He's gone with, and he's got the ring on the thumb. The thumb ring.
It's very weird.
Yeah, but I think that's a great photo. He should be like, just to find that. I'd given up. And I think that was the last one I found. I'd gone. That's enough now for that silly thing that I was going to do.
He looks a little bit chunky in that picture.
He does, but he's sitting on his Renault. So this is Renault. This is Renault era.
He looks so young.
Yeah,
he must be early 20s.
Happy Alonso. Well happy.
It happens sometimes.
He's done something there, but again, looks like Lord Farquhar. This is the one. This is the picture.
I know the ones. It doesn't. What's happening here?
He's got like, because bear in mind he just looks
right. What year is this photo? So what year did the PlayStation 2 come out?
F1. It's 2005, mate. It says F1 05 on it.
Well, PlayStation 2 release date was the year 2000.
Yeah, this is F1. Yeah, it's F1 2005 is the game on his top, on their tops.
Oh, okay. And why has he got those glasses on?
Because I mean, I was trying to look in the reflection to see what's going on around him, but like, I don't know. I don't know why he's got those glasses on. Those are stepdad glasses. Like, I reckon that's the kind of sunglasses that stepdads would wear. But I'm not sure if he's a stepdad.
Well, neither of us have stepdads, but I sort of understand what you're saying. You're saying the big like,
eye jackets, the eye jacket.
Eye jackets,
the eye jacket. Possibly the ugliest sunglasses I've ever seen.
Remember when Oakley used to pitch their glasses based on that they were like they were bulletproof?
Did they?
And it'd be like, yeah, and they used to have like in the shops they'd have like a lens. They'd have a lens that had been shot by like a semi-automatic weapon.
Yeah.
And they'd sort of pitch it as, look how good these glasses are. But I was like, well, A, the glasses are ruined, right? They've been shot, they've been ruined. And unless someone shoots you in the eye...
And you're wearing Oakleys at the time.
Yeah. That's the only... Like, an automatic weapon, the rest of your face would have got shot off. So, no need. But I guess you could...
And then just hit the ground. There wouldn't have been any impact because of the glasses. Maybe that's why he's wearing them. At this point, he was probably frightened for his life. You know, he just won a world title. You know, he's got his 2 bodyguards. That's what they must be.
I don't think there is bodyguards.
I think there might be his bodyguards. And, you know, he's got his eye jackets on to protect him from the sun and bullets.
This was back in the days of Nuts magazine.
Yeah,
is Nuts magazine still a thing?
I don't think so. I think it probably would have got cancelled. And by this point, yeah. But yeah, I think this picture is bloody brilliant. I think that
is that it?
I think. Let me just check. No. This is when he was a cowboy. He gave up. This is probably during a retirement, I think.
No, he's well too young in there for retirement.
He's got the Mel B. I mean, he looks like Mel B from Spice Girls. It's what he's dressed as.
Is that a real tattoo, or is that drawn on for the?
I think that's for the photo. Shoot. Though I do imagine that's the tattoo he would have.
I mean, in fairness, I had a tattoo like that until I got it removed.
Yeah. Do you reckon he's got it removed now, or it's still there?
No, I reckon he blasted over it. Yeah. Something else.
Like, what would it? Yeah. But yeah, I thought this is brilliant. I mean,
he doesn't seem like, when you see his general disposition, I sort of feel like he's the sort of person that wouldn't wear a shiny cowboy hat and denim jeans
and snakeskin belt.
And snakeskin belt, but or 2 watches, or eye jackets, or a leather waistcoat in that case. But I guess there's a price.
He's
for
a chameleon, is what he is.
If you were a Formula One driver and the Levi's came to you and was like, "I'm going to give you some money," we need you to you need to be this picture. Would you do it? And I guess the answer is yes, depending on the money. And how much money would you require for a day of being told to wear this kind of stuff and be photographed? I hate having my picture taken. A day of it.
I think to have to wear a cowboy hat, you're in the hundreds of thousands just for the day. That's not including the fee for wearing the Levi's.
Hat fee.
The hat fee is $100,000. The shark tooth necklace is normally a no-go for me as well. So any kind of cowboy dress. On? What?
Has he got a shark tooth necklace on? Yeah, he has, hasn't he?
So this is a look that I definitely wouldn't want. And if I was in the position,
is he surfing in Bali or is he at a rodeo? We just can't.
Tell. But yeah, what we know is that is a terrible look, and you should be ashamed of yourself, Fernando, for not. Well, unless you've got loads of money. If you've got like a couple of million for that,
you just wonder. I don't know. Like, I know Formula One's popular now, and it has been popular, but let's say this was in the window of Levi's, right, on Regent Street. Out of 100 people that walk past and see that, what percentage of them go, that's Fernando Alonso versus that's random guy?
4%. 4%.
You reckon high as 4%?
A 4 people out of 100 would go that. Well, you'd have to prompt them, I think, who is that, and not a model, right? He's got the eye jackets on, and he's pissed off again.
I don't blame him for not liking it, Lewis Hamilton, at this point.
Yeah. But he's beat him in this race. This is one he's beat him at. Look, he's first. And
I think I know what happened in this photo. I think someone said, Fernando, can we get a picture with you, mate? And he went, yeah, no problem at all. And he posed. And Lewis Hamilton jumped in and went, I'm the winner.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to be in the picture. He got right in front of me. Pushed me out of the way. Yeah. And then this one. This is the end, I think. That's what he was in. It looks like he was a NASCAR driver in that one.
Yeah, that's basically like taken 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's the end. That's the now. So where it started, where we are.
So if you are listening to this on Spotify or Apple iTunes, then that whole feature is pretty much a waste.
Sorry.
Wait, I
think that's from the same shoot.
Because
he's got the
same necklace. And he's got a Renault
shirt on, which I quite like. I'd probably wear that.
You'd wear that?
In Ibiza next year, I'm gonna wear. I want to wear something like that.
A Renault
Hawaiian shirt. I think
excellent.
Yeah, that was.
I'm not sure if have we got any more features for today.
No,
Ben.
Oh, there's another one of look at that. Sorry, there are more.
Again, is Lewis Hamilton attacking Alonso? No wonder he's bitter.
Yeah, he's
and out.
It's so funny. Neither of them are enjoying that moment either. He's just like, pour the champagne on him, Lewis. Pour the champagne on him. All right.
Do you think though that when they do the champagne spraying thing, I love that picture. We'll talk about that one next. Do you feel like it's like when we spoke about skydiving last week. When I did the skydive, I got annoyed with the person who was doing the tandem with me because he kept tapping me on the shoulder and he had a GoPro on his wrist. I've got a video of it somewhere. And he was filming me and my face was just like flapping. It looked absolute bits. Funnily enough, it was just after that I lost a lot of weight. I think it was seeing my face flap like a basically like a parachute. Anyway, so this guy's like doing the skydive and he's got the GoPro on his wrist, and I'm going, yeah, fucking hell, I'm falling through the sky, woo, right? But he kept tapping me and then doing like surf dude hands and like going, yeah, like do more, like, oh fucking hell, this is amazing, fun out of a plane, oh my god,
yeah, gnarly.
And, after the third time, I was just like, yeah, just stop now. I'm not doing any more performance monkey tricks for your GoPro. And this feels like when they do the champagne thing, like how many times has Lewis Hamilton done that? Blasted other people with champagne. Yeah. He must be bored shitless of that to the point where he's like, I don't want to get covered in champagne. Can I just let someone like the Canadian guy give him a shot?
Let Canadian Williams guy do it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, move on to the picture of the giant lady
This is
that I just saw.
Alonso and a giant lady, and him dressed as a teenager.
He literally looks like a skater boy.
Yeah,
Are they 3/4 lengths?
they
or
are
is it just
3/4.
the
I think
angle?
he's just really short.
So he's got.
Look at those big trainers, though. They are 90s
Yeah, and
trainers.
he hasn't tied them up either. Like if he went to kick a football, they'd fly off.
Yeah, you can't race in them either, mate. They're too big for the. It just.
And it's so what? It's a gilet.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, this has turned into a fashion shoot. But what is he short, or is that
He is quite
lady
short.
6'8"?
He is quite short. Most
How
Formula
tall
One
is he?
drivers are about 5'6".
Alonso height.
I bet he lies about his height.
He is 1.71 meters high. What's that in feet? 5'7". So quite short.
Yeah,
How tall are you?
6 foot.
Okay, yeah, he's 5'7". So I reckon the lady in the picture is probably 6 foot.
And she's got heels on, but yeah, I mean, still, he's got the sole on that shoe's probably an inch on his. And I think is that it? No, this one, another sexy one for him. He looks a bit scared.
Another
in this
one
picture.
for Nuts
Yeah,
magazine.
he looks a bit scared in this one though. Like he's quite young, and he's been like, oh, she's touching me. Get her away. Just wants to race my car.
Roles reversed. It's a problematic picture.
It is a problematic picture. If he was wearing a lingerie set and she was trying to drive her car,
Why would he be wearing a lingerie set in this scenario? The roles being reversed. It'd be him in his pants, wouldn't it?
yeah.
It'd be a
pants,
young female driver driving first series,
Yeah.
and then
Leggy. Well, yeah, not leggy.
a tall bloke 5 years older in his pants rubbing up against him, and then someone taking a photo.
Yeah. Problematic.
Hashtag poor Alonso.
Poor Alonso. And then this little Fonz pitch.
Ah, that's nice.
Oh, and
I reckon it's that shirt again.
yeah, that shirt's coming out. And the cowboy hat's there as well, and the necklace. So this must have been the same shoot.
Maybe it's not a shoot. Maybe this is just his wardrobe, and he's just got one of those. When people build, like, they call it a what do they call it? It's like
Headshots.
you create a wardrobe based on low volume of clothing, but you can repurpose them.
Okay, yeah.
It's like I don't know what it's called. It looks like he's tried to do that, but he's gone with cowboy boot, Renault jacket, and red shorts.
Yeah. At least he's not wearing those horrible jeans. I bet they were boot cut as well, those jeans. I think that is it. And that is it. That's the last picture. So that was my presentation of my favourite photos of Fernando Alonso. People will say it was filler, but I say it was important content.
No, I think today there was a DNF, which was Boyd.
Yeah. DNS
did not start. We had to fill basically 50 minutes, which I think is
We've done
good
a really
effort.
good job, I think, considering we haven't done the game, we haven't done the debate, we haven't done the scenario, and there's only two people talking. So that's a third less talking.
That is third less. So we've done more. So I would say at this point, if you're going to review the podcast, if you're going to give it anything less than a 5, then please do reference the reason being that Boyd did not show up. He has to understand that there are consequences for his actions.
Yeah. And those 5 reasons that he did give aren't valid. The door thing for me was quite funny, and the collage. I couldn't even spell his excuses right. So, but yes,
great.
Thank you for listening and probably watching. Free pre, even though it was only 2 pre.
Everybody has a target on their backs next year.